Nintendo Switch is an amazing device and it's definitely shaped the future of handheld gaming. But while it's had its good points, there were some annoying things about the Switch that held it back from being the best console. And with its sequel on the horizon, I want to discuss some features that Nintendo must include in the Switch 2's launch, so it can be an excellent successor to the Switch 1. Okay, so we're gonna start off with one of the biggest issues with the Nintendo Switch, and that was the stick drift. Now, almost every controller at some point had stick drift, that goes without saying, but the Switch one was the most notorious case because I still hear people talk about it to this day. The new Joy-Cons showed to us in the reveal trailer looked promising, and they were really being in your face with the joystick movements in the trailer. So hopefully this is an issue that Nintendo's R&D team spent time on and got rid of for the Switch's successor. Fresh Joy-Cons are not cheap, and I can imagine that new ones will be even more expensive, so we need stick drift eliminated from the Switch 2. Now, according to a leaker, the Switch 2 will launch with Hall effect analog sticks instead of the original ones that the Switch 1 had, so that already sounds extremely promising. Again, I will remind you guys though to take every leak with a pinch of salt, because let's face it, anyone can just go on the internet and lie. But if this does turn out to be true, then this will be very good news. Next, I want to talk about the Nintendo Switch Online service and what they can do to improve for the Switch 2. Personally, I find it crazy that after buying the console, we still need to go and pay to connect to the internet in the first place. But I understand the cost of running servers and how that wouldn't be a practical business expense. But that doesn't excuse how trash the connection can be on the Switch Online service, especially for something that we are paying for. Whether it's a server-side issue or a component in the Switch that needs to be upgraded, we deserve way better performance in online games. So that's something that Nintendo should take care of ASAP. While we're on the topic of Nintendo Switch Online though, I want to bring up some of the games that they include in this service. You see, with a regular package, you get access to NES, NES and Game Boy, while the expansion packs NES you all of that, plus access to the N64, Sega Genesis, Game Boy Advance and a few DLC for selected games. That's actually not bad, but I thought we could do better. It would be really cool if we got some DS games on the Switch 2. Even the Wii U had this feature on Virtual Console, so it's a crying shame that it was missing from the original Nintendo Switch. It is entirely possible to simulate the two screens side by side, so that really shouldn't be an issue here. Now, I've seen some people mention the Wii as well, and while that would be nice, Nintendo is going crazy with the Wii remasters right now, so I just don't see them adding an alternative that could result in a loss of revenue. The GameCube, however, should be fair game since it's one generation older than the Wii, and it's got some solid titles that people would love to play legally on the go. To start with, if they just gave us some DS games, that would be an amazing move from Nintendo. But I'm not done with the online features. Oh no, there's one more thing missing from the original Switch that has to be included in the Switch 2. Something that all of the competing consoles have had for a while now, and Nintendo seriously needs to catch up on. I'm talking about an online chat feature. It is ridiculous that if I want to talk to other players, I have to download the Nintendo Switch app onto my phone, and that's even only for supported games. At this point, bro, I could just open up Discord or call my friends normally if I'm going to be using my phone. As a modern console, there is no way that a common feature like this should be missing from your system. Come on now. Luckily though, we may have some hope yet. A couple of people have spotted a microphone built into the top of the Switch 2, which appears quickly in the trailer. Blink and you'll miss it, because I know I did.
That looks like a microphone hole to me.
Oh, you're right. You're completely right. Oh my god, I'm very happy about that.
Plus, with that new extra button on the right Joy-Con, which Nintendo has not touched in the slightest, we could be seeing a chat feature come to this device after all. Fingers crossed. Alright, there's one feature that we were expecting on the Switch 1 which is even missing from the PS5. And if Nintendo locks in and adds this, they could easily win the console war and dominate the market. Nintendo, please give us customization for the Switch 2. I'm talking folders, themes, custom layouts even. It's entirely possible if Nintendo really wanted to try. And this would make a real difference in a world where companies are even taking away customization options. That's right, Sony, I'm looking at you. We've seen people do some insane stuff with homebrew and jailbroken Switches, so being able to have this feature out of the box without breaking my console, my account, and my life from the Nintendo Ninjas would be pretty awesome. Come on now. Okay, so the next thing we're gonna discuss seems like a really easy thing to overlook, but this can affect sales in a big way, and that is the launch titles that will come with the Switch 2. Part of why the first Switch sold so well is because it had Breath of the Wild on day one and Mario Kart during its launch window. These are games that you can really sink your teeth into, and as a result will make people feel like they're getting their money's worth. Thankfully, we already have a new Mario Kart confirmed for this console, so hopefully that will be launching on day one. But we need some hit titles to seal the deal. Thank God that Nintendo is using common sense and allowing almost all of the Switch 1's titles to be compatible with Switch 2. So people with decently sized libraries won't even have to worry about that. But it would be nice to see some new releases on launch day. Right, I'm gonna touch on one last thing, and I know you guys were all waiting on this one, so I saved the best for last. Let's talk specs. Now, I'm not gonna bore you guys with nerdy information like what graphics card this thing needs to have and how much RAM, but I want to underline the performance that I want to see out of this thing. Most Nintendo Switch first party games run at about 1080p 60 FPS when docked, which is pretty good, but almost every third party game ended up running at 30 and sometimes even resolutions under 1080p, which is unacceptable in the modern day no matter which way you spin it. I know optimization plays a lot into it, but if this console is strong enough, it would make less of a difference. There are so many games that I wanted to play on the go but ended up getting on my PC or PS5 because of my Switch, because let's face it, the game would look and run like absolute ass. So what are we looking for here? Well, I want this thing to be able to play every single game in my library at 1080p 60 FPS, docked and undocked. Okay, I'm not asking for anything ridiculous like 4K. However, this is the bare minimum for 2025, and a good few of us are rocking 1440p going up to 4K monitors. Honestly, if the Switch 2 can do 1440p while docked, I'd be a very happy camper. But at the bare minimum, I want a clean and consistent experience in every game I play, no matter if Nintendo was the one who developed it. The original Switch is a huge part of the reason why Sonic games are not hitting their potential graphically, because the devs have to scale stuff back and optimize so that the Switch doesn't blow up trying to run the game. The Switch 1 compared to today's generation is like that little kid trying to tag along with the big boys, just slowing everyone down. It's time for a change. It's time for Switch 2. I don't know why I said the last bit. I thought it would be 5 hours right now. Anyways, what did you guys think of the video? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to join our Discord server in the description. Oh my days, it's been a while since I said that, but yes, Temzy Code is back. So come on in if you want to talk about games, anime, or even give me feedback on the channel. We're waiting for you. Come through, bro. But that's it for this video. I'll see you guys in the next Temzy out, and stay blessed.